Okay. We have seen repeatedly, time and time again, that when you all are prepared, you beat hands down your peers at the Ivy League schools. We go to recruiting groups, recruiting consortia, off-campus interview events with many of the Ivy League schools, and we get the results back of how many of our students got the interviews over the students from the other schools, and that would be through your cover letter and resume. How many students got a second interview as a result of the first interview at that interview event? We know that, and we can do all this comparison to how you perform compared to these other schools. So it's just a matter of getting your skills honed and getting out there and doing it. Okay. So what if you are admittedly clueless? I would guess that there's a significant percentage of folks sitting here tonight that are saying, I have no earthly idea what I want to do when I leave Middlebury this summer. And actually, believe it or not, that's okay. It's okay for right now because you have all of this assistance available to you to help you begin to hone that down. One of the things, as we mentioned the other night, that may stop you from engaging in that process is just a couple of fears. One, I'm afraid I'll make the wrong choice and I'll be stuck there for a lifetime, which is a real myth. And two, I'm afraid there really isn't anything, that's right for me. And I think that's a fear. And there may even be a number three. That three, I'm afraid the thing that's right for me is really dumb, or it doesn't make enough money, or whatever that might be. I urge you not to let those stop you now. Perfect opportunity, you have plenty of time to begin to get some assistance in figuring those kinds of things out. And we had talked the other night in the senior meeting about the senior assessment workshop. Great place to start. The first one is the 25th of September, and then there'll be ones following that in October and November. Great place to get a kind of an initial introduction to what might best match your personality and interests and skills. A second thing that I might recommend that you do is to go into MidNet. If you're not familiar with MidNet, it's an online database that you can access through the CSO webpage. There are over 9,000 Middlebury alums who have volunteered to help you. I mean, they just didn't get dumped in this database. They had to actually fill something out and say, I would be more than happy to help give advice and information to and assistance to Middlebury students and other Middlebury alums. So know that when you go in there, that these folks stepped up to do this. And hopefully, a whole bunch of you will become MidNet volunteers after you're out there for a year or so. So what I would suggest that you might want to do as a first thing is to go into MidNet and search it by your major. Put in psychology or philosophy or French or whatever your major might be, and see what all of the MidNet volunteers who also majored in that are doing. As a second run-through, you might want to keep the major criteria and then set the years for, let's say, the last 3 years. You can actually set the year span so that you're getting volunteers who graduated last year, the year before, or the year before that with your major. What are they doing? And I think that'll begin to give you an idea of the breadth of the liberal arts education. So those are two good things that won't take very much time, that begin to give you a sense of direction and purpose. Okay. Now, why bother to go through all of this if you can just go to law school? There are some typical defaults that liberal arts graduates everywhere have been historically famous for taking. And one of them, the one I like to pick on the most, is the law school default. And the idea is, and there's a myth out there that says a law degree, a legal education, is good for lots of things. You can do lots of jobs with a law degree. Look at all those people out there that have law degrees that are not working in law, specific jobs. They're not practicing law or whatever. Well, the truth of the matter is, they could have done those jobs without that law degree. They just happen to have a law degree. That law degree is not a prerequisite to all of those other positions that they're doing. Go to law school because you want to study law and you want to practice law in one of its varieties. That's the reason to go to law school. Now you might ask, why is that such a huge default for liberal arts grads? Law school is very easy to get into when you've gone to a school like Middlebury. I guarantee everybody in this room can get into law school somewhere. And lots of you can get into the top law schools. And that's without even being interested in practicing law. So there isn't the check and balance with law school that you find with business school and with medicine. Okay.